Game shows on WKMG showcase excitement and big prizes. With the Florida Lottery's family of games, you can also enjoy the fun of playing for a chance to win big prizes. So after you watch your favorite game show, join the excitement with the Florida Lottery. Game shows on WKMG are sponsored locally by the Florida Lottery. Live with clickorlando.com and streaming on News 6 Plus. This is News 6 at noon. Getting results.
Now at noon, unstable scaffolding on a construction project in downtown Orlando keeps a busy stretch of road closed. In minutes, what the company in charge is saying. Thanks for joining us. I'm Justin Warman.
Glad you're with us for this Friday edition of News 6 at noon. I'm Bridget Ellison. We begin, though, with the latest on a long heat wave that's now pushing into the weekend. Sky 6 live over Typhoon Lagoon at Disney long ago. Look at that wave pool. There they go.
That seems nice.
People out there cooling off in the waves. Meteorologist Troy Bridges is here with the latest. That looks fun.
It does look fun. Looks like you got people left and right of you, though. Not much movement, just like shoulder to shoulder. But at least they can cool down that way. Any way you can, that's what you got to do. Please hydrate as well. We do have a weather alert day once again today because of this heat advisory in effect for every single county in Central Florida. That means temperatures feeling like between 108 and 112 into the afternoon hours today. So it certainly will be getting hot. We're already feeling hot, but we're headed to a feels like temperature to 114 in Melbourne today, up to 110 in Ocala, 113 in Palm Coast today, 111 for areas like New Smyrna Beach, 112 later today in Sanford. But here's the forecast. The actual high today going all the way up to 97 degrees. That is 1 degree shy of the record of 98 degrees. Notice rain chances still fairly low at 30% by 5 o'clock and then tapering off by 9 o'clock to only 20%. Now, coming up, we will show you future radar. We'll talk about that little bit of rain that we can expect and then what to expect for the weekend. Finally, even though it's going to be hot, rain chances do go up and there is a cool down, and I say cool down with air quotes, for next week. All of that straight ahead. Guys, back to you.
All right, Troy, thank you. And with temperatures rising, the Brevard County Sheriff and the State Agriculture Commissioner stressed the importance of preventing hot car deaths. Florida currently leads the nation in children dying in hot cars. So to help spread the important message of never leaving kids or pets inside a hot car, Commissioner Wilson Simpson announced that every fuel pump across the state will soon be outfitted with a new inspection sticker featuring the safety messages. The commissioner said the idea was thought of by the sheriff.
For me and for the commissioner, it goes back to just a constant reminder to make sure that you're not doing it. And again, we all, you know, I'm just going to run in the store for a moment. I'm going to be right back out. And then something happens that you're in there longer than you anticipated.
The new stickers will be added to 75,000 fuel tanks across the state. In 2021, Congress passed the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. Part of that calls for cars to come standard with technology that allows for an audio and visual reminder alert to check the back seat.
Breaking news now, a Titusville soccer coach arrested for sexually battering a minor. Police said 43-year-old Anthony Lee Gonzalez was arrested and charged with 7 counts of sexual battery. Investigators said preliminary evidence revealed the suspect had an inappropriate relationship with a child he was coaching. We've reached out to police for more information, including where he coached. If we hear more, we'll let you know here and on clickorlando.com.
Since Wednesday, parts of Orange Avenue have been closed in downtown Orlando because of unstable scaffolding on a construction project. The scaffolding appears to be buckling outward, and now officials have shut down traffic and businesses in order to keep people safe. This is all happening along Pine and Church Streets. We've highlighted the affected areas in red right here on this map. News 6's Emily McLeod was there all morning and gives us the latest update from downtown.
Also developing this noon, lawyers representing former President Donald Trump and the government are back in court for arguments over whether limits should be placed on what the former president can say about the indictments he's facing. Cameras were rolling as the former president's lawyers arrived at court this morning. The two sides are deciding what the former president can or can't say about the evidence in the investigation into the January 6th insurrection. In court, the judge warned of potential limits, saying the former president's campaign won't affect her decisions, but the government argues that without the protective order, the former president's likely to disclose sensitive information. Trump's lawyers argue the protective order restricts the president's free speech rights.
New at noon, a dance instructor once featured on the TV show Dance Moms was back in an Orange County courtroom hoping to strike a plea deal with prosecutors in a sexual battery case involving 2 teens. News 6's Mark Lehman was there and has details on the disagreements in court. For the second time this week, Marion County deputies are asking the public for help in solving a man's murder from earlier this year. This all surrounds the death of 59-year-old Timothy Smith. He was found back in March after what deputies say was a violent attack at a home in Citrus Park. In a Facebook post, the sheriff's office named Timothy Smith's spouse as a suspect in his murder and his daughter as a person of interest. The sheriff's office said a reward for answers has now risen to more than $14,000. If you know anything, call the Marion County Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers.
Nearly 24 high-speed internet satellites are in orbit after a rocket launch from the Cape overnight.
3, 2, 1, ignition, and liftoff. Go Falcon, go Starlink.
We brought you the liftoff live at 1:17 a.m. A Falcon 9 rocket carrying 22 Starlink satellites marked SpaceX's 55th launch so far this year. Shortly after liftoff, the first stage of the rocket landed safely on a drone ship in the Atlantic, and SpaceX has landed reusable boosters more than 200 times since 2016. Still to come at noon, one company is out with a recall that may have you checking your freezer.
The product's possibly being linked to a listeria outbreak. And something mischievous and new opened at Universal Orlando today. We'll take a look at the brand new Minion Land.
But first, the death toll from the catastrophic wildfires in Hawaii continues to rise. 55 people now declared dead. Residents saying they'd had little to no warning about what to do. We'll take a closer look at what's happening on the island and some of the damage left behind. You're watching News 6 at noon. Getting results. We'll be right back.
Sponsored by the Florida Lottery, who encourages you to play responsibly.
We appreciate everything you've done for us. We will recommend this to other people that are hurting like we are.
Summer, vacations, cookouts, long days. Never mind, it's time to go back to school, and at News 6, we've got you covered. We're digging into everything from school safety and book bans to school vouchers, teacher shortages, and the growing population. It's happening all day in every newscast because getting results means making sure you and your kids are ready for the year to come. It's time to go back to school with News 6 and clickorlando.com/backtoschool.
Live with Bridget Ellison, Justin Warmoth, and meteorologist Troy Bridges. This is News 6 at noon, getting results.
Developing at noon, the Hawaiian island of Maui is reeling from catastrophic wildfires and the death toll is rising. Officials there say the number of lives lost is now up to 55 in what's become so far the second deadliest fire in the U.S. in a century.
Jonathan Vigliotti's following the new developments. And this morning, the Red Cross said 6 workers from Central Florida are on their way to help people affected by the fires in Hawaii. They say when it's safe to do so, the Red Cross teams will help with damage assessment and distributing relief supplies.
All right, some breaking news this noon, a potential announcement from Attorney General Merrick Garland. He's apparently giving a statement from the Department of Justice in D.C. Once he takes the podium there, we will bring that to you. In the meantime, though, let's get you outside, take you to Daytona Beach. Pretty good day to be there rather on this really, really hot day if you can do it.
That's right. And meteorologist Troy Bridges is tracking this heat that will continue into the weekend.
Oh, yeah. We're going to continue with that heat advisory in effect for every county through 7 o'clock tonight, meaning it will feel like 108 to up to 112 or higher already. Right now, we're at 93 in Orlando, 92 in Sanford, but you factor in the humid air here at the noon hour, and it feels like 108 degrees in Orlando, 111 in the Villages, 108 right now for New Smyrna Beach. But here's a look at the pinpoint accurate forecast.
Sponsored by Strata Air Conditioning and Heating. AC emergency? You ought to call Strata.
So today's actual high going to 97 degrees with only a 30% coverage of rain. And keep in mind, we're going to be 1 degree shy of that record of 98 for Orlando. Now, eventually, we'll see the West Coast sea breeze and the East Coast sea breezes interact. But look, even by 5 p.m., only 1 or 2 dots of rain. Not much of a coverage today to help cool us down. We'll continue to see that slight chance for rain today, but it goes up heading into tomorrow to about 40%. And then 50% by next week, and then up to 70%. But there are the highs today, getting in the upper 90s for inland spots, feeling like the triple digits area-wide. Now a look at your 7-day forecast, and notice those rain chances at 50% for Saturday, 60% Sunday, all the way up to 70% by Tuesday. And there's that cool down. I use air quotes for it, though. A high of 92 by Thursday, which is where we should be. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Troy. An important recall as people try and cool down in Central Florida.
Some ice cream is being pulled from store shelves. We'll have the details. And it's back to the bargaining table for Hollywood writers and movie studios. The important talks happening today that could lead to a restart in the entertainment business.
And here's what's coming up, all new at 6.
I'm News 6 investigator Mike DeForest. As Central Florida students head back to school this week, a record number are attending private schools with the help of state vouchers. This year, for the first time, nearly all Florida students are eligible for state scholarships regardless of family income.
We wouldn't be able to afford to send our children to a school like this if it wasn't for the state scholarship program.
Tonight at 6, we'll show you how many more Floridians are applying for school vouchers now that they're no longer limited to low-income families, and we'll tell you what you need to know if you still want to apply for one.
Traffic doesn't happen in here. It happens out here and here. I'm traffic safety expert Trooper Steve, and yes, I am a real state trooper. I grew up here. I'm the only traffic expert who's actually investigated crashes, who's patrolled these roads. I know how that traffic is going to affect your morning commute. So if you want real advice from my real experience on your Central Florida roads, you got to start here, and you got to watch before you go.
Let's take you now to the Department of Justice, where AG Merrick Garland is giving a statement.
Mr. Weiss's office, that investigation remains ongoing. In February 2021, U.S. Attorney Weiss was asked to remain as U.S. Attorney for the District of Delaware and, in that capacity, to continue to lead the investigation. As I said before, Mr. Weiss would be permitted to continue his investigation, take any investigative steps he wanted, and make the decision whether to prosecute in any district. Mr. Weiss has told Congress that he has been granted ultimate authority over this matter, including the responsibility for deciding where, when, and whether to file charges, and for making decisions necessary to preserve the integrity of any prosecution consistent with federal law, the principles of federal prosecution, and departmental policies. In a July 2023 letter to Congress, Mr. Weiss said that he had not to that point requested special counsel designation. On Tuesday of this week, Mr. Weiss advised me that in his judgment, his investigation had reached a stage at which he should continue his work as a special counsel, and he asked to be so appointed. Upon considering his request, as well as the extraordinary circumstances relating to this matter, I have concluded.
All right, so if we obviously missed the beginning of that, but Attorney General Merrick Garland said that he will appoint a special counsel in the Hunter Biden probe, and we are gathering some more information on this. Look for updates on News 6 at 4 and clickorlando.com. Talks are set to resume between major studios in Hollywood and the union representing writers. Members of the Writers Guild of America have been on strike for more than 100 days after negotiations stalled. The union is asking for higher salaries and more money from streaming services, along with protection against artificial intelligence. The ongoing standoff is causing havoc for film and TV production schedules. That includes the 75th Emmy Awards, which was scheduled for September and has now been postponed to January. The last meeting between the two sides was a week ago with no resolution.
As people try and beat the heat right now, the FDA is out with a recall involving one brand of soft serve ice cream. We're talking about the soft serve on-the-go vanilla ice cream cups. There are concerns about a listeria outbreak that made at least 2 people sick. The ice cream was sold in states including Florida. Out of precaution, the company's recalled all of its ice cream and sorbets and shut down the plant. If you have one of these 8-ounce products, throw it away and call the company for a refund.
Like it or not, Halloween has arrived in Central Florida.
In minutes, the popular event that kicks off tonight to a sold-out crowd.
Get the latest news, weather, and more from the News 6 Plus streaming app. Download the News 6 Plus app from the Android TV App Store today.
Universal Orlando has opened its all-new Minion Land. It has a new attraction, cafe, and meet and greet locations. The land is located inside the Universal Studios Florida Park, you know, where Shrek was.
Oh,
Shout
yeah.
out to Shrek, though. I love that one.
And it would poke you in the back. I missed that.
You can read all about it at clickorlando.com/theme parks. Meantime, fall is in the air at the Magic Kingdom, despite these horrible temperatures we've been seeing.
Maybe this will cool you down.
Maybe, but guests will be trick-or-treating during Mickey's Not-So-Scary Halloween Party tonight. The event runs through November 1st. We checked, and all event dates this month are already sold out.
Of course they are.
Yep.
And Bridget, you were talking about being there with the kids.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
fun.
It's so cute. But
they have
you know,
the grave diggers who scrape
and plenty of pumpkin spice.
Oh, I want some of that. Maybe if we just think fall and we
Maybe
drink enough
iced
of that,
pumpkin spice.
maybe that'll put us in a cool down mode. Maybe we'll think we're cool. 97 will be the high today. Rain chances at 30%, but more rain this weekend.
Okay, more updates at 4.
We break news on clickorlando.com. Have a great Friday.
Gorgeous, but hot.